Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot. So, this is going to be your weekly read from June 9th through the 15th. We're already, sorry, my cats are excited and playing in the background. But we're already midway through June. Can you believe it? It's like, oh my goodness, it's going so fast. But just wanted to quick say thank you guys so much for all your love and support. Seriously, this channel would not be what it is without each and every one of you. All of your likes, shares, subscribes, your comments. And so just know that these messages resonate with you just as much as, you know, as I do, or as they do me in a lot of ways. Like, it really fills my bucket to know that we are all here together and we're all elevating together. So thank you guys. So Spirit, what messages do you have for us? I cannot talk, oh my goodness. For us this week as we go into the middle of June. What messages do you have for us, Spirit? Thank you. So in the middle of the deck here, kind of wanted to pop out, but they were kind of also wanting to stay hidden, so that's where I wanted to look at them. We've got the Moon and the Five of Swords, so this is really interesting. Basically, the moon speaks to a lot of unseen. There could be some hidden enemies. There could be some anxiety or some depression or shadow work that I see going on here with you. But either way, there's a duality. There is a voluntary change with this, so that's where I kind of go with the inner shadow work. But really, you know, what I also see on the opposite piece with the hidden enemies piece is with the Five of Swords, there's betrayal, there's failure, there's misrepresentation or unfair advantages. But either way, I do see a loss here at hand where people are maybe looking to cause you a loss. On the inner shadow side, you know, what I see here is, you know, a fear of failure or a fear of defeat or humiliation, or even just frustrated with the situation where you're not making movement. There's a stagnancy with it, and it's really getting you out of your energy. Now, as we come in astrologically with this week, basically what's really cool in a lot of ways is the moon is going to be in Leo. And so basically what that kind of speaks to is that you are the catalyst of change. You are the lead character in your own story. And also, too, to top this off, there's a sextile between the moon and Jupiter. And Jupiter's currently in Gemini. So there's a lot of focus on family, on money or business opportunities as well. But really more on finding that inner joy, finding that inner peace, that harmony, you know, that security that really only comes from the peace within. And so it's a wonderful opportunity in some ways to really take your power back. If you're feeling that you've got hidden enemies, if you're worried about a loss, or that somebody is there to deceive you, standing in your power is really what's going to prevail, I guess, or get you through in a lot of ways. And with the Five of Wands, what this basically looks at is that there's a conflict that you've been suppressing or ignoring. I do see a potential of reconciliation through cooperation, and it is an opportunity for cooperation. But right now, it's kind of like you're in the middle of things. And like I say, it's like the fighting is there, and we're kind of taking a breaking point here, but it's through the no communication. Now, one thing I do want to just caution you on that is that, you know, silence is violence too. And unfortunately, conflict or problems don't go away if you just suppress them. They unfortunately come back like a mosquito bite. You know, you don't realize they bit you, and then all of a sudden you're trying to fall asleep, and oh my goodness, your foot is just driving you nuts. So make sure it doesn't fester, I guess is how I would put it. Now, one thing with this here too is that if you let it fester, it can lead to a lot of discontentment, a lot of disappointment. And so, like I say, this could be a point where you're going to be challenged through this to really go into seclusion. Just make sure that you do it for the right reasons, basically, for the need to, do some introspection to reevaluate and reposition yourself through meditation and through taking your power back, and not in the way where you bring yourself into seclusion due to the feeling of disappointment and rejection. So just remember, you hold the power. This is your story. You write it. Don't let other people write it for you, I guess is how I would put it. Oh, these cards are jumping and coming. Okay. So on June 10th, I do want to also say too, so with the moon being in Leo, it's going to be sextile with Mercury, which is in Gemini. And so this is also a wonderful opportunity with business. If you are, doing any type of marketing or starting some sort of entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship, now is the time to really sell yourself, to put yourself out there through advertising, through marketing, public relations. It's also a good time for short distance travels, for a little mini adventure, if you will. Also, too, if anyone is looking at purchasing a car or a new vehicle during this time, this is a really wonderful opportunity where you could find the right one on the 10th that really fits your needs. It's the right price. It's got the great, everything you need kind of situation where it just falls into place. And with the Magician in reverse here, so basically what you're doing here as we're coming into the middle of the week here is you're gaining your self-power back. You're breaking taboo. But the main thing that Spirit is saying here is, just make sure that you're not necessarily lacking the discipline or the enthusiasm. Again, you're taking that power back. Don't give your power out, because really by doing so, by lending yourself or giving your power up to other people and remaining out of control, if you will, you're going to be haunted by this loss. This will only bring the anxiety and the panic. And, and this could be a situation too where you're feeling like you don't have control of it. That really you're working with others and there's only so much that you can do. And through this, it's basically causing a lot of, nightmares or insomnia. But really what it's also doing is it's basically speaking to you're blaming yourself for this. And as a reminder, what Spirit is saying is, no, you can only control yourself and your own actions. You cannot control other people. And just remember, through any conflict, it takes more than one to create it. And so make sure that you're not taking blame and harboring blame on the self that isn't deserved. And if you are, taking blame too, and doing a healthy introspection, taking the opportunity to look at your actions, look at what you could do better, more importantly, learn what you can do better going forward is what counts. But staying stuck in this situation is only going to really lend itself towards putting you in this place where you're only haunted. And so now is the time really to remember forgiveness, let go, but more importantly, take that power back and remember you write your story. Your story is yours. Now, with the Three of Cups, basically this speaks to victory and celebration as well as support. So you could be feeling in a lot of ways like you're blaming yourself, like you're standing alone. And again, like there's loss, especially with this Four of Cups. You're staring at these 3 cups here that haven't worked. But yet Spirit is sitting here waiting for you to just take this 4th cup. And so what I see in that is that really now is the time to remember you are not alone. You have a community, you have sincere allies, and really friendship. And so this really is something that is going to be coming through for you. When you feel like you're kind of at a loss with this situation, if you feel like that, especially if you're just not, you're like, I just don't know what to do anymore. Let people help you. Know that you're not alone, because really I see a lot of people coming in to help at this point, to help raise you up. Now also too, on the 12th, the moon's going to be moving into Virgo. So that's going to be really helping with bringing you into an analytical and critical kind of mentality and thought process. It'll help you basically step back from the emotion that this is feeling or that this is causing, the anxiety, the despair. And it's going to allow us to really look at the opportunities that we really truly have. And more importantly, what I see here is It's kind of like, it's like you almost stepped off your path and Spirit's getting you right back on it. Spirit's just it's just like a correction, a course correction is I guess how I would put it. And really with the Ace of Cups, I mean, this truly is the beginning of prosperity, the beginning of opportunity, of a new relationship, even possibly even a new love. But either way, you're using your intuition. And more importantly, you're in line with spirituality. You're in line with spirit through this. What I see, as well is that you could be dealing with a Cancer, a Gemini or a Sagittarian could be coming in with the conflict aspect. But more importantly, what's going to bring you back into balance is really that Libran energy, looking at the inner peace, dealing with the strength of dealing with difficult situations with that Scorpion energy. And more importantly, too, remembering that this is your start. Again, this is your story. There's power in that one. This is an early stage. It's going to be rocky. There's going to be unknowns. But more importantly, there's new ideas. There's a positivity that can come from those fresh starts. And it comes through that creativity. Those first causes, basically, to problem solve that first stone before it's set in place. Now, on the 12th as well, the moon is going to be trine with Mars, which is in Taurus. And so that's going to be helping with giving you willpower to power through this, giving you courage as well as practical action, resourcefulness, as well as activity and truth. And so this is a time where really, if you are feeling misaligned, you will get a lot of help on the 12th here towards this middle of the week, where you'll have that Virgo moon to play with. You'll have Mars being in Taurus to help boost you up and raise you up as well. And then too, on the 14th, the moon, which is still in Virgo, is going to be a half moon. So this really leads itself to focus on, family matters or health issues. And so it just helps us course correct, like I say. It helps us reevaluate, reposition, and more importantly, look what needs to be kind of left out or let go. Now, with the Hangman, basically what I see in a lot of this is, with this half moon in particular, there's going to be a lot of spiritual growth, basically. And you could even have what I would call as like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a lot of ways. This is involuntary, but it's also an involuntary submission. It's where your trust is being tested, but more importantly, a new perspective is being offered. And it's not going to be a conventional one. It's going to be outside the box. And again, this is going to be your new start. So pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to who comes in, because what I really see in this is through this conflict, through this loss, and this, not knowing where to go, a new path basically is going to be emerging for you. And with the Knight of Wands, basically what I see is this is going to bring you out of your shell. It's going to bring a lot of enthusiasm. It's going to bring you into an extroverted feeling. And it's going to cause you to take swift action. This is going to be where you all of a sudden feel highly motivated and inspired and career driven. So I do see this being a career opportunity. But I did catch a little bit of that love down there too. And we will get some help with the love aspects through the trine with Mars and the moon, Now, the moon will be moving into Libra on the 14th after the half moon. And so again, if you're coming into this week with a bit of loss or feeling of being lost, and just disappointment or fear and anxiety, the Libran moon is going to give you a boost of optimism and a boost of cheerfulness. You can really pay gratitude to what's going right and what's going well, and re-steering the boat and course correcting towards that as your focus. And by doing so, what I see with the Nine of Pentacles is that really truly, again, that is where success is headed. That is where your material comfort is. And so stay confident through the self-discipline, keeping that self-discipline and standing in your independence. This really is what's going to help with not only finding that inner peace, but also too standing in your power. And I do see good news coming in through that. So again, through this networking, through this support, I see a new potential career opportunity coming in here as well. But either way, there will be good news. Now, if this resonates, by all means, please share your story if you feel comfortable in the comments below. That way we can all help raise you up, because I totally understand, I don't know what you're building or what you're working through, but I understand the volatility of this, and it can be so stressful. So let us help you as well, and know that, please, by all means, this channel is here for you as well on the Honey Sea Star. Now, as we close out this week, on the 15th, it will be kind of a quiet day. So we will also get some reprieve, and we'll get time just to kind of breathe. During this time, like I say, though, with that Libra moon coming in on the 14th, you also have a trine going on with Jupiter. And Jupiter is in Gemini, so it gives us, not only the positivity with the moon, but we also get the positivity with our Jupiter planet. And it's also in Gemini, like I say. And so this tends to give a lot of air, a lot of voice. And so now is the time not to be silent. Now is the time to be seen. But also, too, this is a time where Jupiter will really lend itself towards social success, networking, financial opportunities. But overall, it really helps you with just raising that vibration up to a positive level. Now, one great way as well, too, that Spirit is saying here, through chakra rebalancing, if you are experiencing blockages, is through generosity, through charity, to get that energy moving through giving and receiving, through networking in a lot of those ways, whether it be entrepreneurial or volunteer work even. But what this does is it allows you to gain knowledge and experience, as well as teach knowledge and experience. There's a lot of that giving and sharing, giving and receiving. But it also helps you with financial steadiness, basically, with that Taurian energy. And so it kind of looks at, the insecurities of the moon piece, and it helps pave a way for a solid foundation. Now, with the 6 as well, it speaks to balance and symmetry. There's a lot of harmony, integration, balance of emotion too, as well as harmony of opposites and reciprocity. So the big thing is, especially with coming into this piece here with sincere allies, a lot of ways too, if you've been experiencing hidden enemies, pay attention to the reciprocity. Things really should come easy. Life should not be an uphill battle when it comes to love and support. And so that's where really with the 6, pay attention to who really truly is there for you, who wants to be there for you, and more importantly, who it's easy to exchange that reciprocity with. Because that's the solid foundation that I really see that's going to be coming through and standing strong for years to come in this week. Now, the main thing here as well is what I see in all of this is there is a lot of volatility. And so the biggest thing that I'm getting from Spirit right now is that calculated risks are best, right? But also remember, don't let perfectionism stop you from pursuing a big opportunity. So make sure to weigh those risk analysis pieces. Weigh the pros and cons. Don't be afraid of FOMO either, just saying. But also too, calculated risks allow us to make strong foundational judgments, strong foundational plans. And so utilizing the Virgo moon this week, the Libra energy of the moon, and also the Leo, that fire of the moon, is really going to help you with understanding what's going to be best for you when it comes to taking calculated risks this week. And like I say, you do have hidden enemies out there. So sometimes moving in silence is also to your benefit. Make sure that you're paying attention to who you're calling your allies. And like I say, again, they'll make it easy for you through that reciprocity, how easily that comes, and more importantly, how much it's valued. Now, with the Hermit in reverse, basically this is saying that you're not following wise advice. And so there could be a bit of foolishness or ignorance coming in. And so just remember, this is kind of Spirit's way of saying, use this time to walk and speak wisely, to decide wisely. Like I say, calculated risks. And so if something needs more introspection, if you need more guidance, make sure to seek it during this week. Because basically at this point, what I see in this is that, ignorance is bliss, but really knowledge is power, knowledge is wisdom. And so now is the time really to seek that and reevaluate. Because what I also see is you've got options. One of the best things though is you writing your own story. With the Virgo piece, we do suffer from a little bit of perfectionism. I'm not trying to judge. I'm a Virgo too. However, I know that can lead sometimes where it's like you want things to be so perfect. And if it's not going that way, it's almost like it gives you an analysis paralysis, or it can totally lead you to, abandoning a project some way in some point of disappointment too. So just remember that temptations are out there. A lot of them are going to be decoys. Following your gut, trusting your judgment, utilizing that Virgoan energy for weighing the pros and cons, and utilizing that energy for, really analyzing the calculated risk. That way you can make the best decision for pursuing your opportunities. But really, truly, what I see in this is that, some of them, like I say, will be decoys. So it's important to remain grounded. There could be a little bit of a stumble through some of them. Some of the doors, what's in door number 1 versus door number 2, some of the things aren't necessarily what you want. So just make sure that you're not, experiencing a bit of imagination or letting your imagination come, take over. And you're really looking at things for what they are. And more importantly, looking at things for how they best serve you, so that it's the best foundation for yourself going forward that you can build. Now, with the 7 as well, like I say, this is going to be a personal challenge for you this week. You will be tested. And again, I see secrecy in this. There's hidden wisdom. And so just remember that through spirituality, through taking that time to connect with spirit, introspect, seek higher wisdom, that really, and more importantly too, understanding the duality, because how to put it, what's done in the darkness always comes to light, but not all things that come from light are good. More importantly, the embracing the gray in between, embracing the duality of what both can bring is really what true strength is. It's really like looking at how, your inner shadow actually gives you, is your greatest strength. But it takes healing, understanding, growing from that wisdom, and more importantly, learning from that wisdom and taking that and sharing it, that really changes it from a wound to wisdom and changes it from a weakness to a power. So embracing that duality by standing in your high priestess power, using your perceptiveness, using your intuition, but also to still remaining mysterious. Like I say, don't show all your cards this week. Really, truly, that is what's going to help guide you through these options. Also to remembering that you are a spiritual teacher and you're a spiritual healer. Your gifts in this world were really, truly meant to help raise people up just as much as they're meant to help raise you up. So understanding and embracing that polarity will really help you step back into that power. And again, we've got the under the 2, it really speaks to a lot of reflection and a lot of vitality through repetition. So now is the time not to abandon ship by any means, but now is the time to, again, think wisely, weigh the risks wisely, and then also too, not be afraid of when things aren't perfect. Don't let FOMO basically rule your decisions, and more importantly, make sure that you write your story where you pursue the big opportunities for your life that are true to you. Now, in the Page of Cups, what Spirit's really saying here as well is, make sure to hold that. You are innocent. People will try and take advantage of you. Again, hidden enemy aspects. But because you're a dreamer, because you're an I can't talk. Because you're creative, you're an artistic, you also are very imaginative. Because you use that psychic intuition and you're sensitive, you use that emotional intelligence, that truly is going, by remaining true to you, that's where your inspiring news is going to be really manifesting. So again, stay true to you with that Libran energy. That's what, hold that truth within you, because what I do see is that's going to be a manifesting, inspiring news for you. And at the bottom of the deck, this is going to be coming in very fast. And more importantly, it's going to be a self-control and a reassurance that you really, truly are headed in the right direction. So, like I say, basically, this is quite an intriguing story here. If this resonates, by all means, please let us know in the comments below. That way we can help support you as well. Because what I do see is, not everybody is going to be happy for you. By paying attention to that reciprocity and building those solid relationships, that's what's going to lead to this breakthrough. And it's through using that emotional intelligence, through using that intuition, that you'll be receiving this inspiring news. And it may involve travel as well. So, or two, more importantly, it'll involve action, basically movement. So things will be coming in fast. And what I see here is, with the Eight of Pentacles, this is something where it's an aspiration. It's something that really, truly is your talent, your gift that you're meant to bring to the world. You've been developing it. Again, you've been, the perfectionist card comes out here. Sorry. No judgment. I'm a Virgo too, like I say, so that's where I giggle. But really, this is something where it's an opportunity that'll allow you to not only apprentice, but also teach. And it involves hard work that'll really fill you up, being the sign of Virgo. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Two of Cups. This is cooperation. This is harmony. This is compatibility. And this is a new romance, a new opportunity. For those, that I do see here that have been working at where it's potentially from the past, there is a potential of reconciliation, but really what I get out of this is new. This is somebody new coming in that's developing, or a new business opportunity that's developing, new relationships, new tribe. But either way, there's harmony. And it's a mutual attraction. Like I say, again, with that reciprocity, this is something that you won't have to question. You won't have to fear. You won't have to, challenge or worry about trust-wise. This is something that is firm and solid. And with the Orca whale, what we have is it's an adventure. What Spirit is saying is dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. And again, there's travel there. But more importantly, be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. And so just remember that. Don't forget that for a moment this week. And so Spirit, just give us a few more animal messages here, animal spirits, that we can help seek their guidance this week and receive their guidance. Thank you, Spirit. And with the bison, there's the abundance headed your way. That's... Need I say more? But basically, the sacred buffalo, it says to cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and of prayer. And so, what I really see in that is now is the time really to connect with Spirit, to really remember to pray, to ask for help. Know that you're supported, but more importantly, keep that faith and keep yourself aligned. Because Spirit's got you, and we've got you too. And then at the bottom of the deck, we've got the raven, which is the shaman. You are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and your words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. And so again, I think, just seeing it pop up several times, now is the time really to move in silence. Don't let everybody know just yet what you've got going on or what you've been doing. And I think it's because of these hidden enemies. But again, like I say, through that reciprocity, you'll know soon enough who supports you, who's there for you and with you, and who's really not. So just make sure to keep that out, or keep your ideas, what you're working on, a little bit more on, more to yourself, or a little bit more under lock and key, if you will, where you're only sharing with your trusted ones. Now, with the ocean waves here, I did want to do some place oracles. What I see is, with the ocean waves and seaside is, if you guys are feeling, need to take that introspection, especially if you're feeling like you're not following wise advice, that you're not following even your own intuition, water is really going to be helping you with regrounding, with reconnecting with spirit. And so now is the time, if you're going to a river, it's a great way. Rivers are wonderful for letting emotions flow through you and pass out of you, as well as cleanse. But, even so, like if it's a lake or if it's a seabed, now is the time really to get out there and experience the refreshment from that water, the cleansing from that water. And again, it's one of those things where it'll really help you with not only remembering and contemplating who you are, taking your power back, but focusing on the good relationships that you're building and the good relationships that you have supporting you at this time. Now, with the parking lot, what I see this is the time to park and go. And so what I see, there's a lot of movement coming and going, but more importantly, now is the time to really not just get in the vehicle and go, but to go and embrace the experience, to absorb the experience. And also, too, what I see here with the jail at the bottom of the deck is that justice is on your side. You could be, experiencing setbacks, and again, hidden enemies. But what I see in this is that, again, what's done in the dark will come to light, but justice is on your side. And not only just karmic justice, what I feel in that is that, what's been done behind your back, or what's being done, is truly being seen, and it's starting to really be recognized for exactly what it is. The misrepresentations, the things that are not necessarily true to you or about you. So, like I say, justice is on your side here on this. Now, I did also want to just do some cosmic oracle cards too. And so at the top of the deck, we've got, when you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. And so if any of you have been, afraid to take that leap, also too, like I say, getting into analysis paralysis, or being so afraid with, being driven by perfection that it's stopping you from pursuing a big opportunity, now is the time really truly to utilize those calculated risks, but also too to trust yourself always. Trust others once they've earned it. And so I think that's really wise at this point, again, with hidden enemies, again, with the reciprocity piece. I think really at this point is to use your intuition, and to also to acknowledge and recognize the signs. Don't be oblivious to them. And to trust your gut. Don't ignore that voice. And then also too, what has your inner voice been asking of you? Listen and act. And so again, I think that speaks to it. And so if anyone has been ignoring their intuition, ignoring their guidance, now is the time really truly to get back into that reconnection, that realignment. Because really what I see in this is it's not a big course correction, It's kind of like a mini one, but it's monumental. It will be life-changing, and it will affect things for years to come. So, no pressure, but, and not to mean it in that way by any means. But just make sure that you're looking at those calculated risks, looking at the opportunities, and more importantly, staying true to you, so that you don't let perfectionism hinder you or stop you from pursuing the biggest opportunity, which truly is betting on you, doing what's best for you, lining yourself up now, or lining and paving the way for yourself now, so that your highest good is set going forward. Now, I did also want to pull the Major Arcana for those that practice music therapy, for any type of chakra blockages. I see a boatload right here, honestly, of third eye chakra pieces. So if anyone has been feeling like they are just not aligned with their intuition, this is the week really where doing some third eye work will really help you with detoxing, with getting that energy moving, but more importantly, getting that third eye opened and realigned again so that you can receive the messages that you're needing for guidance. And so what I've got here for music therapy note-wise is we pulled the B, the G sharp, actually 2 G sharps, an E, an F, and a D sharp. And so try playing around with those. Let us know what you think. If you feel comfortable, share your experience in the story or in the comments below. That way we can help others, help lift other people up as well through music therapy, through opening those energies together and healing together. Either way, I really hope this resonates. But like I say, take what resonates, leave the rest, and remember, above all, your story is yours. Never forget that. And so, also too, if this resonates, by all means, please like, share, subscribe. Your support for the channel really, truly makes it what it is today for each and every one of you. So by all means, if you'd like to help support the channel, help get these messages out to more Virgos, that we can help as many Virgos as we can, please like, share, subscribe. It certainly means the world, and every bit of it, each and every one of you make the difference. So love and light, take care, and I'll see you in the next reading.